Hey YouTubers, this is the American Samurai coming to you back again, almost live from Small Town, USA. We're here to talk about the Legends of Wrestling show from Miami Beach, Florida. Miami Beach Dayville Resort, Miami Beach, Florida, May 3rd, 2012. Well, this was interesting because this is basically a sequel to the previous one that both I and Brave Sir Robin have reviewed. This features the New Age Outlaws versus the Varsity Club, which is Kelvin Sullivan and Rick Steiner. This is basically done as like a rematch to their previous encounter, which was the Steiner brothers versus the New Age Outlaws. It was an interesting match, and I have to say, quite good. The standout parts in this one was pretty funny. Was when the New Age Outlaws come out and there's no music, and then Road Dogg turns to the guy and goes, "If their music plays, I am going to be really mad." And then they come out with their music's playing. And he's just really ticked off. It's a pretty good match. The Varsity Club ends up winning this. Next up is Fit Finlay, and I'm going by how it says on here, so I may be out of order. Fit Finlay versus Harry Smith. I don't remember much about this one. I knew that it was also a really good match, though. Matt Classic versus the Man Scout Jake Manning. And the $5 wrestling champion Freight Train shows up, and that was pretty interesting. Matt Classic basically comes out, and he's, condemning $5 wrestling for everything they're doing, and so then the music starts playing, and out comes Jake Manning, the Man Scout, and then later on Freight Train comes out and is rooting on for his mentor, I guess you would say. That was interesting. That was really good. And then I may be reading this in the wrong order, so if the matches aren't in order, I apologize. This is how I'm reading it. So, next up, speaking of $5 wrestling, we have Wolfman and Willie Clay Jr., who are both on the first ever episode of $5 wrestling. So this actually does kind of give you little hints and teases of $5 wrestling, which I kind of enjoy. Then next up, we have I think another squash match, basically Vader versus Nick Fury and Steve Stasics, which I think is basically who we fought in the last one. And then we have a female match. This is Lillian Kay versus Amber O'Neil. And the next match after that is a pretty good one. And like I said, some things I remember, so I'm telling you, but others I can't really remember. So I'm not going to try. It's been a while since I've watched this, but I've been making the review of it, so I'm just going to give you my impressions here. The next match is Tino Santana versus one of my personal favorites, the Honky Tonk Man. That was a really good match, I thought. Granted, they couldn't do it like they could have done back in the day, but age limitations, they still did put on a pretty good, interesting show. Then the final match to salute the Florida Championship Wrestling. We have Ron Bass, the Masked Superstar, Gary Royal, and Larry Nabisco versus Carlos Colon, who I believe is also an XPW, Lanny Poffo, B. Brian Blair, and Mike Graham. It's kind of like a battle royal type deal. The running time, this is 1 hour 40 minutes. People who are just picking up this, basically, if you're a fan of this one, then you want to pick up this one, because it's basically the first one. This continues where this one left off. Some different guys and stuff, but you still have like Jake Manning and there's a lot of guys that are in here that aren't in the other one, but vice versa, because you don't have versus Kevin Steen or anything like that. But this is still a good one. I highly recommend picking up. Like I said, if you're a fan of the one, you'll be a fan of the other, because it basically continues to left off. Yes, I highly recommend picking this up if you like the first Legend show they did. And I think they have a 4-pack now. We can get all 4 of the Legend shows together. If you've heard about it, maybe see a clip on YouTube and like to get all 4, then I'll go that way. But if you've never heard of it, then I would start with either the first one, or the Legend shows, or maybe a Freshman Phenom. Take your pick. But these are just really good shows that High Spots does. Kind of a little opposite of Five Nights Wrestling, I don't know. But yeah, I would go ahead and pick this up if you're a fan of anyone on this card. This is a straight up 10 out of 10. It may be short, but what it does well. So yeah, straight up 10 out of 10 all day long for me. This is the Legends Wrestling Show, March 3rd, 2012 from Miami Beach, Florida. So yeah, until next time, it's the American Samurai saying sayonara.